Hi everyone, let's continue with the series of course vulnerability. Today we will solve course vulnerability with basic origin reflection. For that we will use one PortSwigger lab, which is a course vulnerability with basic origin reflection. This website has an insecure course configuration in that it trusts all origins. To solve the lab, craft some JavaScript that uses course to retrieve the administrator's API key and upload the code to your exploit server. The lab is solved when you successfully submit the administrator's API key. You can log into your own account using the following credentials. So we are already provided with the credentials, which is winner and Peter. So attacker will use that credentials and analyze the application. So our target to exploit the course misconfiguration to retrieve the administrator's API key. As course is a client-side vulnerability, here by using phishing attack or social engineering, we make administrator to click on malicious link which is generated by attackers, so we can retrieve administrator's API key. We are not required to do this part in this lab because it's automated here. That we'll see soon while we submit our exploit and how we'll get the administrator's API key. So first we will initialize what will the actual thing we are gonna do. Yep, let's jump here. Um we are provided with a winner user which attacker will use to analyze the application and create a malicious website which retrieve administrator's API key. In this case, attacker use exploit server to host the malicious application. As soon as administrator click on link, malicious website send the request on the server which contains course misconfiguration, so attacker will able to see the response on malicious server log. Let's analyze the application now. This is a actual vulnerable application which looks like as a some similar to e-commerce type application where we can buy some items and we have the price as well, the details of the item. And we have the exploit server. Let's click on that. We will use this exploit server to host our malicious website which retrieves the API key of the user whoever is click on the link, and that user is actually logged in there. And let's go to my account, log into the user which is winner Peter, login. Let's go to the burp. We will go through the history and we'll analyze what's the actual thing is happening here. We clicked on login. Academy had a login, and after logging with the winner and Peter, we got that my account. Okay, yep. Account details. So this is a XHR request which retrieve the API key of the user. This retrieves the API key of the user, which is our like a winner's API key. Actually, we are not interested on this API key. We have to retrieve the administrator's API key, and we can observe the application using one of the course header, which is a access control allow credentials. If there is course misconfiguration, we can trick the administrator to use and retrieve the API key. Let's send it to the repeater and check if there is a course misconfiguration. Origin. Let's inject the any random origin. http :// So if the application accepts this origin, that means application accepts any random domain on the internet to access its data. If application does not accept, means application only accepts certain domains. Let's send the request. Alright, so this application is accepting this origin. and the control allow credential is true. It means application whenever it's like whenever the attacker whenever the victim click on the that malicious website which attacker will create. So once we the victim click on that application, it's automatically send the cookies as well to the server which is authenticated. So yeah, let's let's create our vulnerable application. For that, first we will initialize our HTML tag, HTML, then body, script. We will use JavaScript here, script tag. Okay, so initially we will use XML HTTP request object in order to extract data from a web server. Let's initialize that. So now we will initialize the listener. Okay, we have to load the vulnerable site so we can access the victim data. From that, we will do the get request on the vulnerable application. So let's do it. Yes. Uh, so now we have to send the authentication cookie. For that, we'll use a with credentials. We can do that by this line. Great. Now we have to send the request to the server. For that, we will use request.send. So once the request is sent to the server, we need to fetch the response of the request and adding it to the logs of our malicious server. In this case, which is a exploit server. Let's create a function for that. So yeah, everything is looking good and all right. So this is the URL of our this exploit server. This one. Let's go through that. Best store. Let's check it out. Okay, back to the server. We have just store with credentials true. Okay, deliver the exploit to the victim. Uh, so we have delivered the exploit to victim. Let's check the log. So see, we are able to uh, see that key user is an administrator and the email address and the API key, which is this. Copy that and let's submit. All right, we are able to successfully complete this lab. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next video.